We ripping and rolling?
We are.
Hey-o.
Yes, sir.
Herp, hope, hey, are we up YouTubing and rumbling and I'll be damned. Well, how you, herp and hope, look out, it's only me, it's only the Kimmer. It's Monday, podcast number 541, the Kimmer Show podcast, 27th of March, 2023, with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder, adjusting our new high-tech video camera system here at El Condo Flounder. Anyway, good to have you aboard. It's Monday as we speak, and we just went through a whole stormy weekend thing and those horrible tornadoes in Mississippi. We'll talk about dangers of floodwaters. They're not fun to play in, silly people. Also a billion things, and having some fun today and goofing around. And a quick, first of all, thank you to our friends at Venmo. We just got another couple of donations here. I will quickly, again, if you go to Venmo and put your camera up there on your phone, it'll take a picture and show you how to donate money for us to keep this stupid show going.
We've faked everybody out. Nobody has any clue.
No, they don't know
on
how
the
to do it. Is that? I guess is it? Even I did it once with my daughter. So even I figured it out, which is hard to believe. Tom, I mentioned the Seaman, made us a very nice donation. Keep up the great work, fan, for 25 years. Our friend Stephanie, the T-Girl, with enough burgers, so here's money for pizza instead. Thanks for the laughs and the common sense and divisible by 3. Stephanie, you are a Kimmer babe. And our friend Denise, once again, a beautiful donation, divisible by 3. God bless and love from Denise. And also, now we have another thing. Denise also sent us a card. It's addressed to me, but I think we'll make it for all the group. But it's God bless and love, Denise. Happiness celebrating something like that. And boys, there's a divisible in 3, but you'll have to divide this one yourself. You have to come. Anybody got a half for that bill? Anyway, thank you, Denise. And by the way, this portion of the podcast is sponsored by Denise. I'm almost afraid that all the money you're sending me, I'm going to be paying on thank you notes. So she's very, very sweet and generous, Denise. I'm feeling very guilty about it, but thank you. So nice. Very, very sweet. Let's see what else we got.
There you go, Flounder. Of course, there's a banking fee involved.
Yeah, there is a $1 fee. Just transfer. Let's see. I wonder if this is only me. As you know, I get up in the middle of the night at least twice, usually 3 times, 2 o'clock, 3:30, 4, whatever. I get up for a minute. Okay, I'm out of. I get out of bed. I'm in bed. I'm snug as a rug. I'm warm. I'm toasty. Sometimes I'll even wear a long sleeve shirt to bed or something. But I mean, I'm comfortable and toasty, warm, and everything's fine. And the heat I don't keep this time of year. Do you have your heat on? I don't have heat or air on. I mean, basically nothing. This is the time of year. So anyway, so I'm comfortable as hell, snug as a bug. 2:15. All of a sudden, I gotta get up and make a head call. So I leave the bed. I go make a head call for 40 seconds. I come back, get in bed, it's freezing fucking gay. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
How
to
cold
eliminate
was it?
that part. It's freezing. And I'm thinking, how is this possible? I mean, I don't understand. Maybe, but again, I'm a freak because if I've told you before, if I take the fuzzy part of the blanket and touch my face with it, if I just pull it up and touch my face with a fuzzy part of the blanket, I immediately shiver heat. My whole body shakes. In fact, I should video it one night. I'll do that when I get into bed and I touch the sheet. I'll put my phone on to video, and you can see me literally going like this, me shaking, and the heat is bursting out of me. And then I'm all of a sudden, like in 30 seconds, I'm hot. It's unbelievable. I don't know what the hell's going on.
This is what you decided to start the show with? Thank God nobody knows we're on yet. Thank God.
For all you latecomers, congratulations. You timed it right. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't.
Can I, as a grandfather,
Michael found us.
Oh, Michael did. Sorry, Michael. I hope you just tuned in if you're lucky. As a grandfather, I occasionally brag about my grandkids as we're allowed to. This is very quick. My granddaughter, Miss Molly, turned 9 yesterday. And I put some videos on Facebook and so forth about her with her horse thing and things like that. This is the most amazing little girl. She is freaking, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's clever, she's funny, she has a great sense of humor. She's really unbelievable. And she's fearless. There's video. I mean, first time she started riding horses, horse threw her off. She gets right back on, laugh and say, "Oh, I want to do this again." It happened again over the last week when a riding lesson. She got on skis. She's skiing down the mountain without even thinking about it. Have you ever seen the water slides? The kids went to a spring break in Colorado. Went to one of these famous water parks. And when you drive up to the water park, it's like Six Flags, a water park type thing. And when you drive up, you can see like the headquarters of these buildings, and there are plastic tubes outside the building, big, long, huge tubes, and those are slides, water slides, but they're totally uncovered. They're encased. They're not open to the air. Yeah. And the ride is this. My daughter Sarah sent me a video. I didn't post it on Facebook because Molly's wearing a bathing suit and she's 9 years old, and I don't put kids' things on Facebook. No. But anyway, I'll do it so you can see the thing. The video shows her standing in a tube. You can see the beginning of the tube on like a platform. The tube's all around her. You can see her covered like this, standing up still. She has to hold her nose. There's a guy next to her getting ready to go, and they make her hold her nose, put her hands like this, and hold her nose, and go like this, and then all of a sudden, she's gone. Shook! I mean, it's like disappearing, and the whole thing slides all around inside a tube, and then zook into the water. And I mean, it scared me to death just watching her drop. Anyway, totally freaking fearless.
You wouldn't do that?
Hell no.
It's in a tube.
No, hell
You're not going
no.
anywhere.
Well, I'll show you the
I'd
video.
do it.
I'm going to show you the video, and you tell me. In fact, you say something, and
They have
I'll
the
get
one
the
in
video.
Atlantis in the Bahamas. I've always wanted to go do that.
That's probably the same kind of thing. And again, it's God,
it looks fun as hell.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to. Oh, that's not it. You say something. I'm going to find this.
As a former surfer, that's right up my alley. It'd be another way for water to try and kill me. It's tried twice now and almost succeeded both times. That would be the one that would get me, a stupid tube or something.
All right. Oh, crap.
You shoot out the other end. You miss the water. You skip across like a stone and right up against the wall. Kablam!
Oh, did I find? No, I don't. I guess I can't find it. Somewhere. I'll find it. I'll show you. But again, if you see it, you'll go, "Oh my God!" Like it's just totally freak you out. Anyway, happy birthday, Miss Molly. I'm very, very. I'm so proud of you.
Another
and happy
March
for you.
baby.
Yep. Okay, floodwaters. We had a big storm. Mississippi, dozens died. People are. I mean, it's a terrible storm. Tornadoes.
And used to live in Amory. Yeah,
really.
We're very familiar with Amory.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the video of Palander was mentioning it today. The weatherman broke down in tears describing the damage.
Well, he said a prayer.
Yeah,
which is fine with me. And that's in Mississippi, that's what we do.
Why not? Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
This is the first time I ever saw you know how they go through and it flattens, and you see everything's flat. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
This one said there was it had to be an F5. It's 2 miles wide.
Yeah.
It sat there and spun. It destroyed the house. And then it spun everything into little anthills, little piles. Yeah. And on one of them, there was a big old truck on top, like a cherry on top of a sundae, and another car embedded into the side of the trash, and it was in a perfect little pile.
Tinker Toys.
It looked like the movie Twister.
Yeah.
And I mean, over the weekend, it was showing images on Twitter of the F5. People were showing 5-10 second clips when they could see it in the light, and it looked like the F5 you see in the movie Twister at the very end. It was that big.
The cows flying around, tractor trailers.
It was over. I mean, it looked like over a mile in width.
Yeah. Just stories. A neighbor. I saw a woman being interviewed and saying, my neighbor, someone had hold of her kid and got sucked out of the trailer. Just whoosh, off they go.
Yeah, and it wasn't just trailers. These were brick houses.
Yeah. This had nothing to do with,
It took two huge the ones where you like hauling gas or something. The massive, massive trucks.
Yeah.
Turned them on their sides, threw them against each other, and shoved them up against the warehouse.
It's freaking brutal. And obviously, a horrible tragedy by nature. But again, I heard some folks talking about it on the radio this morning. Don't play in floodwaters. and I've been in them. We've been in them up to my chest in floodwaters, and the sewers open up, the manhole covers pop. You can go right down in the manhole. I mean, guess what's in the sewer systems that are now floating in the water all over your town? Snakes, rats, poisonous turtles. It could be, could be poisonous turtles. Aside from alligators and everything, but snakes and filth and sewage. I mean, come on, you know what's down there. And now it's everywhere. Don't go walking around in floodwaters playing and having a good time because, people die. You could Google it. People get, oh my God, he's disappeared.
It's
he fell into a manhole cover.
A myth that water moccasins cannot bite you underwater.
Oh, please. That's why I don't swim in lakes. I was always scared to death to swim in. When on the book doing boating at Lake Allatoona and Lanier, and we'd stop and sunbathe for a while, and I'd get on a float and kind of sunbathe and stuff. But I hate swimming in lakes because you see the snakes are on the back of boats.
Where they're sitting, they're watching the snake come right at the boat, and they're watching. I'm going. It would be like the last scene in Jaws, where Roy Scheider's on the sinking ship shooting at the shark. That would be me shooting at that snake.
Yeah. I mean, how many times do you know boaters who they get on their boat and there's a snake curled up on the ski port, on the little ledge on the back?
Not anymore.
I don't think so.
Oh, speaking of snakes, I got my second pair of snake-proof, waterproof boots. They're great.
All right, the first pair. Tell them about the
first pair from the Dominican Republic. One of them leaked, so it wasn't quite waterproof. It was almost waterproof, but not quite. Second one was from China, and unfortunately, the Chinese know how to build a waterproof boot because it's waterproof. Here's the problem, though.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the right one off. It forms a suction.
Oh, really?
And I have thick ankles. It's the weirdest thing. My brother, who's bigger than me, has skinny ankles. I have thick ankles, right? Yeah. So once it's in there, it ain't coming out, right? Oh, my God. And I'm sitting there struggling, cursing, rolling around the floor, thinking, oh, my God, I'm going to have to get in the car and drive it to town and have someone pull the damn boot off, right? So finally, I poured baby powder down there and hooked it underneath the coffee table and did all kinds. It took me 30 minutes to get it off.
Keep wearing those boots.
So here's the thing. I said, there's got to be something.
Slit the cutters?
The shoehorn doesn't work. That just gets it on.
Can you cut part of the side or something?
No, then it's no longer waterproof.
Well, maybe just the inside of the...
No, there's an actual, and I remembered this, cowboy boots out west. I remember seeing this. It's a device. It's a wooden thing with a V in it.
Oh, yeah.
And you put one foot on the base and the other boot in there, and you pull it out. It's like having somebody pull the boot. So I've ordered that from Amazon, and it should be waiting for me when I get home today.
I have one of those things you put your heel in and then
That's
push
probably
it. It's like $12, and I've got it's a wooden board, and it's got a heel thing on it. You put your heel in it and pull it off like that.
So I'm expecting one of those when I get home today.
Well, I would have let you borrow mine. I had no idea.
That's okay. But you talk about, I literally was thinking claustrophobic with one boot on, thinking, I'm never going to get this boot off.
You're going to die this way. You're going to have a heart attack and die trying to get a boot off, and they're going to find you with one. There's a boot.
I'm going to die with my boot on.
I'm going to die with a glass of ice water on the floor from choking to death drinking my ice water. And you're going to die with your boot. Oh, my God. By the way, this storm also hit West Georgia, and it was so bad that there's a West Georgia animal park out there. I forgot, I don't know what jurisdictions it's in, but 2 tigers at the safari park got loose. So, the storm comes through, and all of a sudden, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 tigers running around our area here.
Tornado warning, tiger alert.
Yeah, and they've tranquilized them. They found them, and they're saved. They didn't kill them. They tranquilized. My understanding is they tranquilized them.
Because as someone pointed out over the weekend, there are deer hunters in this state that have been practicing their entire lives.
That's the funniest deer I've ever seen. I'm taking a shot.
For this scenario.
They can't wait. Who would pass that up? Oh, God. Anyway,
here was my thing,
though.
Yeah. When there was one out, I say, if it heads toward Clemson, they get to keep the name.
Keep the tiger.
If it heads toward Auburn, they get to keep the name, and the other one has to give it up.
Yeah.
That's because that would be the true tiger.
Yeah, that's true.
Where it went.
Showed up where your place was, wanted to be with you. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I thought it was kind of cool. But anyway, the tigers are back and everything's fine. They tranquilize them and it's all good. One note about emergency things like this. I noted a story from Gwinnett County in Lawrenceville the other night. A little before midnight, apparently, a family of 5 went to sleep. And one of the girls, heard a popping sound in the garage. And luckily, thank God, woke up her parents. They went out to check, and the car was on fire. And the fire in the garage started to spread to the house. They got everybody out, but the car was on fire. And the reason it was on fire, the fire started, so they got out. Thank God that little girl got them up. The fire started because the car had been driven recently and was still hot, and it was parked next to and too close to some combustible material that set it on fire.
Huh.
Wow. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I remember the Sopranos story when AJ the Junior was with his girlfriend making out, and the hot car caught the grass on fire underneath the whatever. But this was in their garage.
Was it electric?
Doesn't say. That first thing I thought, but it doesn't. It said it doesn't say that, and I don't know. You would think they would have mentioned that, but maybe they're trying to hide it. Well, after it's your Constitution, they're probably trying to hide it. Anyway, but still. And by the way, the home did not have any working fire alarms either. That's bad. In fact, my townhouse place where I live has an inspection at least once a year where they come in your place and look at every single fire hazard extinguisher and nozzle and everything else. And they have a flashlight. I mean, they look at every freaking one.
Well, if they're looking for nozzles, they'll find you.
They'll find a whole bunch of nozzles in there. So anyway, that's the scoop.
You're the biggest nozzle I know.
I don't even know any more nozzles.
Speaking of nozzles.
Yes.
Kim, are you tired of arriving to surprises at your weekend cabin?
You know, it nozzles me. I hate being nozzled by surprises at my weekend place.
Have a mountain home you're having trouble maintaining? Well, no more. Call North Georgia Intendancy. We can manage your North Central Georgia vacation, weekend, or rental house so you can relax at yours. Visit us at ngaintendancy.com or call 770-595-6664. That's 770-595-6664 for NGA Intendancy.
Well, there you are. Flounder, I heard the guys talking this morning on 106.3. And again, if you go to thekimmershow.net, you can link on to our 106.3 radio station link and the Friday call-in and the Saturday podcast replay and Venmo and how to donate money, stuff like that. So anyway, and I heard you guys this morning talking about what you're talking about, not Kill Bill.
John Wick.
Episode 5 or something.
I haven't seen any of them.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I'm going to finally sit and watch. I've decided I'm finally going to watch it. I'm going to tell myself it's a movie dog. It's not really dead. It's going to be okay. But I hate movies that kill the dog.
Well, all right, now,
shoot away.
I won't give. Well,
I'll get over it.
That's the only
I mean,
plot
obviously, you know. How this whole thing starts.
You got to start with the first episode.
Exactly, the first one, and what happens is there's a dark underworld. And he was.
All right, why are you telling me this?
Well, it doesn't ruin the plot. I mean,
it does. He's already telling me what's going on.
I know what it is. It's a story that has gunfire.
I know nothing except Ian McShane's in it, which is finally the reason I'm going to watch it because I love Ian McShane.
Well, I don't give a shit. You should have seen the first one years ago. That's your fault.
He gets revenge.
But there's people out there. It's not just me. It's others.
It's a violent story of revenge.
I know it's violent.
Okay.
Revenge.
So the story is he gets back at people who made fun of him and killed his dog, and then you find out very quickly that was they picked on the wrong guy. That's it. Okay. So, but again, now why were you talking about the dog? And was it in episode 4? Now has another dog story, or was it just from the very beginning?
No. It's just because John Wick 4 came out this weekend and it topped the box office, and we had just talked about how the whole movie was kind of incepted, and it was because of him and his dog.
Okay. Well,
are they making one a year now? It was only 5 years ago the first one came out.
And by the way, for the record, just my opinion, I have seen the first 2. I have not seen John Wick 3, and I didn't know this one was out. John Wick 1 is worth seeing. You'd like it. It's a man's movie. John Wick 2, to me, was kind of overdone. But anyway, you should watch John Wick.
All of them are. That's what makes it entertaining.
I'll
watch John Wick 1. And by the way, the movie Shooter, they killed his dog, and that's why when he said, "Why are you killing those people?" He said, "They shot my dog." What do you mean I'm killing them? I'm killing them because they shot my dog. Boom.
And Lance Reddick, who just
and by the way, that was the greatest dog ever. That big mountain dog he had.
Fetched his beer and got him.
God, what a great dog. Anyway, okay, just for that, you should see John Wick 1.
Is Lance Reddick in the 4th one? The big, tall black guy that just died?
Oh, he's in the. I don't. He's
I'm not sure because
I think good actor.
Probably because they've done the majority of the filming for 4. So
that's a shame.
Yeah,
that's a shame. He was a good actor.
In fact,
I'm rewatching all the Blacklist, and he was in season 1. I forgot he was in season 1. That was a great show.
Yeah, he's
I'm looking for. I got like 9 seasons to go through, and I watch one a night. It's gonna be great.
Well, it's still going. Like, obviously,
I can't believe it's still going on. You never hear anyone talk about it, but it's still going. Which James Spader's just perfect.
What's Blacklist?
The Blacklist. Yeah.
I thought that was gone a year ago.
No, in fact, it was. I think it was on last year. Yeah.
See, I barely don't even look at the TV listings for the regular TV shows.
Yeah,
well, originally it was. I mean, the first season.
No. I never watched beyond the first season,
gotcha.
so I don't know.
Oh my God! Well, you're going to have to catch up.
I am.
We
I'm
can't
trying
talk about
now.
5 years of movies because you haven't seen them.
But didn't they just start John Wick 5 years ago,
Jesus.
and now they're on 4?
Well, I'm just saying.
Holy cow!
Oh my God! You're going to have to catch up. It's not
trying.
fair.
If I can get that boot off.
Oh Lordy. Anyway. Speaking of dog, well, you won't like this at all then, and I'm going to mention it because it makes me so freaking angry. Speaking of dogs, prosecutors made a mistake and are complaining that in DeKalb County, a new prosecutor who didn't know what he or she was doing apparently allowed a guy to get out of jail, a guy identified as 21-year-old Mekhi Jackson from Atlanta, was seen on video a couple of weeks ago beating the crap out of a dog who died. A less experienced attorney, they say, handling the first appearance in court made a mistake. They let the guy out on bond or free to, with his own recognizance or whatever, let him out, even though now they're saying he's a danger to the community to be let out on bond. And here's one of the reasons. He was also already out on bond involving a case when he supposedly was driving the car so that his 15-year-old friend could fire gunshots at the DeKalb school they were passing by, shooting people. So he got arrested for that, and he had 3 felony counts of aggravated assault, marijuana possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. He got caught for that, was on bond for that, and then was seen on video allegedly beating a dog to death, and they let him out on bond again. 21 years old.
What's his name?
His name is
G something.
His first name is Mekhi. Mekhi Jackson, 21. Jackson.
Nice Irish kid.
Jackson? You don't got to call me Jackson. Anyway, just a dog story that just
Where's that?
flipped me the hell out. DeKalb County.
Well, they deserve what they get then.
There you go. Well, you keep voting for the people who allow this kind of crap to happen. I mean, it's just again, it's just the system is not.
I bet George Soros is behind the DA.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Let me say this and get your reaction. What you talking about, Willis? Okay. Famous phrase, right? I forgot Gary Coleman, maybe?
Gary Coleman from Different Strokes.
Different Strokes, Gary Coleman. Okay, now, I just committed digital blackface.
Can you believe this?
Okay. Now, this morning I'm finding, I spend the weekend, but again, wrapping up in the morning, trying to get ready for the podcast. I'm looking through Twitter, something. What the hell is digital blackface all of a sudden? And so I start doing a little investigating.
They got to find something else to be. They've run out of things to call racist.
I mean, it's unbelievable. You would think that every day there's some kind of new racist thing, and it's like they have to try to find something to take attention away from what they're doing, which is being racist by making sure people only get hired in the administration based on their color or their gender. It's unbelievable.
Glenn Greenwald has the best answer to this. He said, the modern-day segregationists do everything possible to keep people divided by race, prevent them from being and having joy and natural interactions, ban them from appreciating the culture and humor of others, and in general demand that they have as little in common as possible.
It's nothing but divisive. It's the same. We've seen it on college campuses now. You can't go to a campus if you're conservative. They're going to get rid of you. I mean, again, they want separate states and separate schools and separate everything. Fine, then do it. Honestly, I don't have a problem.
At this point,
if you want to
Scott
get
Adams was right.
all the black entrepreneurs together and say, what, screw it. We're going to have our own communities. We're going to buy all the houses, and we're going to force all the white people out and live in our own communities and have our own stores. We're not going to sell to you white people and do whatever you want. Fine. I don't give a shit.
Well, he got canceled
but
for
it's not going to change. Yeah. It's not going to change my opinion. I don't think less of a person based on their race because they're genetically inferior or superior. I just don't think that way. I don't feel that way. I don't give a crap. Leave me alone. I mean, just have a good life. I know. I don't get it.
Last week, a female black leader came out and said the exact thing Scott Adams said, that we need separate states and separate cities, and no one said a peep. Yeah. Scott Adams gets canceled.
Yeah. Well,
he said the same thing that the black leaders been saying for years now. They want their own state. They want this, blah, 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 segregation on campuses. But if you're white and you say it.
Yeah. Well, he did it. He moved. He moved to a predominantly white neighborhood.
I don't want to be around people who don't want to be around me.
Exactly.
If they don't want to be around me, then I don't feel welcome.
Was that last week? What brought,
weeks ago.
What brought? I forgot what brought that up or what.
Dilbert. They canceled his comic strip.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Now, for CNN doing this, by the way.
I know it.
Digital blackface.
Well, the figure because they got nothing else. And this, by the way, we just mentioned CNN, which is why they're doing it because it's the only thing they got going for them now is that people are looking at them for being freaking weird or bizarre. But if you say, for example, this digital blackface means that a white person, literally a white person, is not allowed to have a reaction to someone writing the following phrase or hearing the following phrase of, like in music history. If someone were to say, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. One of the famous lines from the Academy Award-winning wasn't she the first black actress win the Academy Award?
Butterfly.
In Butterfly McPhee or whatever hell her name, McQueen, whatever, from Breaking Bad or whatever the name of the movie.
Nice Irish
the
girl.
Wind with the wind blowing wind.
Gone with the wind.
And I don't know nothing about birthing no babies. And for example, probably the most famous racially offensive old-time phrase, feets don't fail me now. I mean, step and fetch it and all the Uncle Remus thing, stuff like you can't. If you're a white person, you are not even Amos and Andy TV show, which by the way were white guys. The radio were white guys. If you are a white person and you are reacting to that or saying, oh yeah, that was a great movie when she said that, it really showed a true character of the old South and so on. So you're a racist. I mean, you can't. You're not even supposed to be able to react to black culture, which is our culture. I mean, it was the movie. And by the way, it was a movie. It wasn't
These are
real.
Unhappy, horrible people. We shouldn't be paying attention to them. We'll keep doing what we want to do, and the hell with them. They're a small vocal minority, and because they have control of the media, we're supposed to obey them, comply. Screw them.
For the record, don't want to dwell on this, but digital blackface is the practice where white people co-opt online expressions of black imagery, slang, catchphrases, or culture to convey comic relief or express emotions. We white people react to this to expect so much type stuff. One commentator calls racialized reactions the mainstays in Twitter feeds, TikTok, Instagram, most popular. White people play acting at being black. An essay for Teen Vogue. Internet thrives on white people laughing at exaggerated displays of blackness, seeing black people as walking hyperboles. It includes displays of emotion stereotyped as excessive, so happy, so sassy, so ghetto, so loud. Our dial is on 10 all the time. Rarely are black characters afforded subtle traits or feelings. Exaggerating when it comes to emotions on social media, a burden that black people didn't ask for. Here we go. We are your sass, your nonchalance, your fury, your delight, your annoyance, your happy dance, your diva, your shade, your yas moments. This girl writes, the weight of reaction rests on our shoulders. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, there's a fire.
Underserved.
Lord Jesus, there's a fire. You can't say that because it's making fun of the black.
Strick says, dynamite.
Oh my, yeah, exactly. Who didn't say the phrase dynamite when he was doing that show and was the number one phone?
Remember McNeil Lehrer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Douglas McNeil was a Canadian.
And
he wrote several books on the English language, and I interviewed him once at RAS. Great guy. What a wonderful gentleman. And he was talking about, because Ebonics was big at the time. So I asked about Ebonics. He says, okay, there's some things that go too far. But if you think about this, the black race has contributed so much to the English language in the vivacity and just, and he said it, emotion and just colorful. So much to the English language. And that is absolutely true.
Yeah.
And yet this bitch is bitching about it.
Well, it's like, I mean, so have the Irish, so have Scott. I mean, the French. How many words do we have that are French?
Sacre bleu.
Enter, entree. It's freaking French. I mean, half the words we have are Greek or Latin or French or what? I mean, come on, you're Spanish.
That's not, seriously, I studied French for a little bit. It's very hard. And it's amazing how many of their words
absolutely
coincide with English words.
Absolutely. And there's
a million like this for a long time.
Absolutely. Just
she should be enjoying, embracing, and loving the fact that black people have contributed that much to our culture and their culture. It's our culture altogether. And instead, she'll find the negative and bitch about it.
Yeah.
And try and use it to divide people.
Yeah. Something happened over. Did you see there was a coverage of these protesters at the forest for the training center, DeKalb County, Atlanta part of DeKalb County, where they want to have the police training center, which is where the scumbag shot a state trooper in the belly, tried to kill him, and luckily the cops killed the guy who tried to kill the state trooper. So they had a little memorial service of people praying and doing, raising their arms to Allah or somebody about the poor innocent protester who was murdered by the Atlanta police. I mean, just give me a freaking break. And now it's even worse. Have you heard about this? DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman has now ordered an executive order to close the Entrenchment Creek Park, which is nearby to that so-called would-be Atlanta Police Training Center. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation has found multiple traps. This is at the park. It's at the Entrenchment Creek Park, DeKalb County. Multiple traps, including boards with nails protruding from them around the park and the forest area. 140 acres are endangered with false traps to kill you because of the protesters. The guy says, we haven't had the opportunity to inspect the park because when we sat... Okay, I'm going to say this again slowly and tell me whether you think this is an appropriate reaction to handle the situation that's going on. The protesters have put punji pits. Okay, you know what a punji pit is? It's a hole in the ground covered with straw so you can't see it's a hole. And on the bottom are boards or sticks, sharpened spikes and sticks. So when you fall in there, you're going to get stabbed all through your body. You may not die, but you're never going to go back to war, okay? You're going home either in a body bag.
That's a deadly weapon, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't that a deadly
you
weapon?
You can't do that. You can't booby trap. You're home, much less it's a park.
I mean, believe me, this is the one thing they warned you about when you go to a certain place many years ago. Watch out where you freaking walk.
What?
Vietnam, but not that I'm homo. Much better now, though.
Yeah,
so I didn't. But anyway, that's something you're worried about. Watch out for the punch. I mean, oh God. Anyway,
trap.
Anyway. All right. So let me read this again. We have not been able to conduct safety inspections and assess any dangers in the park due to protesters at the site. We haven't had the opportunity to inspect the park because when we send out employees, they were attacked with rocks and other objects and were forced to flee for their own safety, and consequently, we did not send employees into that location. It's near the site of a planned City of Atlanta public safety. Oh, okay. All right, so hold on a second. Okay. There's dangerous killer punchy pit Vietnam War traps in the ground at a place where protesters have taken over it, and it's so dangerous that instead of clearing the area out, you let them keep taking it. Burn it down.
Kill them all.
Set it on fire.
Kill them.
Okay, the first time when that state trooper got shot in the belly, they all should have emptied their guns.
All of them.
Am I wrong? I mean, okay, isn't that a firefight?
Yep.
Isn't that? I mean, believe me, when someone is shooting at you, your reaction ought to be, I think I better shoot back or something. I don't know. Jesus, they just flee?
When the brown shirts in the 30s Berlin beat people up and smashed the things, the police were told to stand down and not confront them until the point where the brown shirts were more powerful than the police. That's what's happening. They're more powerful than the DeKalb County police now.
I don't know why they're afraid to go and clear it out. I mean,
they'll be sued.
For what? Well, Philadelphia just paid $10 million to civil rights group for supposedly overreacting, arresting protesters in 2020 when they were burning down the America. Oh, my God. I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. The entrances and exits to that park are closed. They're throwing rocks, fireworks, Molotov cocktails at police. 23 people got arrested in March earlier with a domestic terrorism thing. Anyway, you know the story about that stuff. But and then they have a protest. They shoot a state trooper in the belly, and then they have a protest to complain that the guy who shot the state trooper got killed in the return gunfire. Honestly, I don't know why they're not. I can't. Take the bulldozers and bulletproof thing. You know, use the SWAT weapons and stuff, and send the freaking
How much money did we spend on all the SWAT weapons and the training, and then they won't even use them? And they won't
use them. If you want military equipment, they've got them. You know they've got half tracks and everything else. So, personnel carriers and shit. Just go in there.
Why did you get them if you're not going to use them?
You got to be kidding me. I mean, it sounds like I'm being violently. This is just common sense. Get rid of them. And by the way, the fact that they are complaining about a site where the authorities want to get better police training. Okay. The whole thing is so they can have better police training, which is what they supposedly have been calling for. No, they don't want that. But I mean, the whole idea is ludicrous. And you start shooting, and they threw Molotov cocktails at police. I mean, come on.
DeKalb County, Fulton County, they're not serious people.
I mean, somebody needs to explain why they're not getting rid of those people.
And they're not even from here. That's what kills me.
Most of them are all over from Canada. They're two from Canada they caught.
In the Northeast, they're not even from here.
But someone needs to explain. The governor, why isn't the governor sending in the National Guard?
Where's Brian Kemp? Yeah, where's Kemp?
Send in the freaking Marines. I guarantee you, if they ask some Marines reserve unit, I guarantee you, we'll go.
Target practice.
We'll go. Oh, please.
What are they afraid of?
How could someone not explain why they are allowing this to continue?
They want it
Punji
to continue.
pits? Okay, let me say it again. Punji pits. Where you're walking on the grass and suddenly you fall into these sharpened sticks, which are.
I saw that on Gilligan's Island. They got the professor that way.
Nobody saw, Full Metal Jacket or what was the other one? Platoon. Jesus.
I think it was overdrawn. It was kind of like quicksand.
No, trust me. I promise you.
Did the VC use quicksand too?
Yeah, they had a little quicksand. I never.
You wouldn't know.
I'm homo. So I'm much better now.
You're willing to learn.
You were in the war? Nah, homo. I mean, God, punchy pits. People, I mean, I'm going nuts here thinking about that. Punchy pit, terrorists.
You know where this doesn't happen? The mountains of Macon.
yeah, you're safe, buddy.
I'm safe.
Oh, my God.
At least for now. Try that shit in the mountains of Macon, buddy.
Oh, mercy. Donald Trump's at it again, and I'm a little nervous about it. I'm going to talk to that in a second. Also, another actor in the news. You mentioned the fellow who was in Kill Wick there, John Wick thing. Another actor, a very famous actor in the Creed movies and other things, has now been censored by the Army.
Wait a minute. Which one are we talking about?
A black Creed actor been censored by the Army for his promotion of the Army because of his girlfriend strangled Kate.
Don't get ahead of me. No, I'm not getting ahead of me. I'm just saying this guy is the new arch villain of the whole Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And it's
perfect.
The guy who played Thanos. What's his name? No, Josh Brolin.
Oh, yeah,
it's as if Josh Brolin had been arrested right in the middle of all those movies.
Yeah, pretty
Will
funny.
They keep him? He's the face of Marvel.
Yeah. Well, maybe not anymore.
Although, can you keep him if he beat his girlfriend?
It's a chick thing. We'll get to it. We'll get that's coming up here in a minute. I want to brag about our sponsors. And again, if you would like to join us as a sponsor, go to thekimmershow.net. And you can figure out how to contact us. Is your Pete Davis 1 at yahoo.com?
Yes, sir.
It's
also
still
there. I need to start.
Anyway, and like our buddies at Wise RV Glass did. Carl, the dad over there, retired some time ago, but his son Russell's got the whole family business going. This is a great idea. Wise RV Glass. If you have a motor coach, camper, RV, vehicle like that, and you have any kind of a glass issue, it might be a broken side view mirror, rear view mirror, windshield, even the flat one-piece, hard-to-find ones for the various SUVs and ATVs and so on and so forth, or even a fogged-up double-pane window or whatever it is, a spider web crack or something like that. You don't any longer have to go driving around trying to find somebody to take care of the glass in your RV, motor coach, and camper and vehicles like that, because Wise RV Glass will come to you. They will replace your windshield issues and take care of all that stuff, and they drive to you. It's all mobile service. Use your own window frame, save you time and money. And no job is too big or too small. If you're thinking of side view mirror, oh, they're not going to. Yes, they do. That's what they do for a living. Don't be afraid. Give them a call. And I'll give you the web address here, too, on the internet. And they come out and they'll take care of business, and you don't have to do a thing but sit there and watch them do their work. All of North Georgia, all of Metro Atlanta, no job too small or too big. The phone number is area code 470-345-6521. And on the web, wiservglass.com. And Russell and Carl, thank you guys so very much. We appreciate and we need your support. Again, we're trying to, when we put it together, we made the podcast free because, who am I to say that, people pay money to listen to the Kimmer, but maybe you guys, but certainly not me. But anyway, so it's free. But again, we're trying to get more donations. We have thousands of listeners, but only hundreds of subscribers. And we can't go on that way. It can't last that way because no one's ever going to hire me again. So it's either this job or nothing, apparently. So if you can help us out with the patreon.com or pen pal.
What'd you do?
I don't. Everybody hates me. Honestly, God, I couldn't even get it. When we got blown out the last time, I couldn't get anybody to return my calls. We were number one. We had the most successful show since '91.
I know.
And we can't get a job. Won't even talk to me. Well, all right. I'm sure it's my fault. I'm not saying I don't deserve it, but anyway. So if we can, we're going to try to keep it going, the show going. But we were trying to avoid making everybody pay for it with a pay per listen thing. So we're trying to avoid that. Anyway, thank you. Sorry to talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about that actor guy. I was going to do that now. Where the hell did I put
Jonathan
my actor
Major
guy? Yeah. Now I got to find it on my phone here. I'll be right with you.
Little brief interlude here.
Through Georgia, gun home. Oh, here we go. Okay. Jonathan Major is the name of this gentleman. Now, I've not seen Creed. Aren't there like 2 or 3 Creed movies now?
Well, this is his year. He's got 3 huge movies out this year. He's like the face of Hollywood right now.
Yeah. Now the first Creed movie wasn't that Rocky's son or something? Was that what that was? What was the Creed movie about?
It was about Creed, Apollo Creed's son.
Oh, Apollo Creed's son. Okay, obviously. Yeah. And that was Creed, original Creed. Isn't there a Creed 2?
Oh, yeah, this is number 3.
This is number 3 now. Yeah. And so is the son the heavyweight champ? I don't know anything about the movies.
I think he became heavyweight champ. I never saw him, even though everyone liked him.
Have you seen Creed? Okay, I don't know anything about the plot, so I can't give it away because I don't know. I assume is he the son of Apollo Creed is now the heavyweight champ? And he was.
Now I think he's kind of semi-retired, and his childhood friend, who's Jonathan Majors, gets out of prison and says, I should have been the guy, not you. So now he's challenging him.
Okay, so Jonathan Major is not Creed. He's the Creed's best friend or a close friend. Now, so Jonathan Major, was he in the first Creed? Is he in all of them?
No.
All right, so he's in just the latest one. But now I don't know Jonathan Major from what was he in before?
He just bursted out there. He's Kang the Conqueror. He's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man, that's what
he was in the Loki miniseries, which they came in at the end of it, and they went, "Whoa, there's Kang." Yeah. He's Kang. He's like Thanos.
Yeah,
remember
so he's
Thanos?
The new. Yeah.
He's the new guy for the years.
Ant-Man,
and he may have just blown it.
Yeah. Well, here's what happened. He's been arrested.
See, what happened was,
you see, they were drinking that purple.
Oh, I'm sorry, I digitally blacked for a second.
What you talking about, Willis?
I'm so sorry.
She. Is that black? Is that black to go she?
Somebody better call a ambulance.
That's probably.
I need a ambulance.
A ambulance.
Or how about who shot Boo? Is that
who shot Boo? Boo got shot. Boo got shot. Oh Lord. Jonathan Major. Okay. Jonathan Major has been doing commercials for the United States Army. He narrates and appears on camera during an advertisement from the Army's Be All You Can Be campaign, which is the remake of what they used to be originally 30, 40, whatever it was years ago. Be All You Can Be campaign. It was airing during the NCAA men's college basketball tournament of March Madness. Well, the Army has now said, no, we're going to sever ties with Mr. Majors here for a while. After the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania star was arrested over the weekend. What happened, the Army says, while he's innocent until proven guilty, prudence dictates that we pull our ads until the investigation into these allegations is complete. Jonathan Majors' attorney says he's completely innocent, will prove it, the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We're gathering evidence to the DA to show that all charges will be dropped. It includes video footage from a vehicle where the episode took place, witnesses from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and 2 written statements from the woman recanting the allegations. Now, cops determined that Majors had been in a domestic dispute with an unnamed 30-year-old woman who sources say was his girlfriend. The girlfriend told authorities she'd been assaulted and there were injuries to her head and her neck, like from being squeezed by someone's hand. A judge released Majors on his own recognizance, said come back to court in May. The Emmy-nominated actor got into a fight with his girlfriend during a taxi ride home from a Brooklyn bar. She confronted him when she found another woman texting him. Then he got ticked off at her accusing him, and then he grabbed her hand and slapped her. The woman claims he also strangled her, put his hands around her neck, and choked her. They spent the night apart before she called police in the morning. And they apparently then went over and arrested him, let him out in his own recognizance. And he's going to try to make the point that she was, given one of these things, and he's stopping her, holding her back, and getting rid of her by, strangling her, stuff like that. So the hands on the neck marks might be a little iffy. I don't know. But on the other hand, she apparently is now taking it back, and what they always do, and I don't know about that.
If she plays her cards right, she'll
never work again.
Oh my God! Marvel will pay her.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, she'll fine.
Disney.
Ixnay on the old angle stray, okay? Nay on the eating bay of the Earl Gay.
People say I never pick on my own. If Jonathan Majors' acting career doesn't pan out now, he can always be the basketball coach at Ole Miss. Yeah. He just went through this.
Oh, God. Anyway, so now he's, maybe it'll all be nothing, no big deal.
Of course it will be. We're talking $1 billion film franchise.
He's the new black film star. He's the new it guy.
He's the it guy.
Yeah. And especially, and the fact that he's not, George Clooney or Brad Pitt, he's black. He's a new big black superstar.
He's a good-looking man. He's
34.
Great looking.
Yeah,
he's 34. He's not.
He's in his peak. He's in his prime.
Right.
I mean, he's going to keep going. I assume probably.
We'll see.
I mean, he certainly has some kind of star quality. They seem to love him in the movies.
But here's another thing you got to think of. In these movies, he has to get violent against men and women.
Yeah.
Are they going to show him slapping the wasp around or?
By the time they make the next movie, it probably wouldn't make any difference. Well, I don't know.
They're probably halfway through the other one.
Well,
they'd have to do rewrites. Can you imagine that?
If he can't hit a woman?
That. If he did do this,
and
then it shows him in the next movie beating the crap out of a female, it's not going to look good for Marvel.
Yeah, that's not. It's not that good.
Boy, oh boy. And that's the risk you take when you do, because you always worry about someone dying.
Yeah.
In fact, I was watching last night. I was at my sister's, and my great nephews were watching one of those 14 Transylvania movies, which are actually pretty funny. The Adam Sandler cartoons.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty funny. I didn't know that. But anyway, in it, they had Mel Brooks voicing something. I said, "Oh my God!" Every day they must have called him up and said,
Mel Brooks.
"Oh God, he's still alive. Get him into the studio and let him voice something," because he's almost 100.
Yeah.
Talk about a risk.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him leave the studio. Well, no, you're going to do all of it right now.
Bam. Yeah.
Well, I mean, remember what happened with Fast and Furious with Paul Walker?
Paul Walker died. They had.
And that's when they started all that CGI. Because remember when the new Star Wars came out, they were re-bringing those characters back who had died. Like what's her name? Who's the one who had the drug overdose? Princess Leia.
Oh,
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher.
They brought her back and they did all that CGI.
It was weird. It was weird.
I mean, it's unbelievable what they did, but you can tell it's not real.
Well, back then you couldn't. Now you can't tell. But back then, you could tell.
In fact, I just saw Fox News this morning was just doing a story showing pictures of women models, beautiful women models, who were not real. And the reaction, what they were saying was that they can doctor an image to be exactly what they want and theoretically would help people of color become more mainstream into the sun. I mean, I'm thinking, now they're trying to develop fake genetic visual stuff.
Racist AI.
Jeez, I mean, my God. I mean, who's going to know anything anymore? You're not, I mean.
Can't trust anything. How do these people know that this is us on YouTube?
Talk about catfishing. Can you imagine? I mean, you could now, everything except actually being in person to touch the person you've been talking to. You'd have to actually be there to physically touch them to see if it was actual, like a flesh-like material, because otherwise, God knows. You can't trust anything anymore.
No.
I mean, Google Chat GBT, or was it GBT? GPT. And all the people are using it, and they've got apps now. Oh, God. Anyway, a funny political, I watched a part of Donald Trump's speech over the weekend. In Texas, and a couple of things. He had nothing to do with Governor Greg Abbott or other political leaders in Texas at his rally. And you have to wonder why he would not have the governor of the state, who's a very popular Republican governor. Why wouldn't he? Trump is now, well, because he's doing this attack thing.
Because a lot of people are on the fence. Do they want Trump or do they want DeSantis?
No, the polls show Trump by a landslide.
Yeah, but here's what's happening. Trump is deliberately dividing the people into one of two camps. Trump's campaign is now blackballing any of the workers who work for Ron DeSantis before the primary. And DeSantis is not a candidate officially.
He shouldn't be this time.
Well, a person who leads the advance team for Donald Trump has put out, Justin Caporelli is his name. He's put out the word. He's the advance team leader for Donald Trump. He has put out the word that anyone who staffed the recent DeSantis book tour will be considered persona non grata. It's time for a choosing, he said. If you work for Ron DeSantis' presidential race, you will not work for the Trump campaign, and you will not be part of the Trump White House.
The choosing.
For several days, Trump has been attacking DeSantis, and DeSantis is kind of jabbing him back. When someone talked about his character and leadership, and he says, well, there's no daily drama in the governor's office. I'm more of a leader and an executive than anything else. He says, if I had been president during the COVID thing, I would have fired Anthony Fauci immediately. When asked if DeSantis would join a potential ticket as Trump's running mate, DeSantis said, I'm probably more of an executive guy. I like to make things happen. I'm probably suited for what I'm best suited for. And then Trump says, oh, yeah? Well, I never had asked DeSantis to be my running mate. It said, nah, it's not going to happen. A very unlikely alliance whatsoever. But again, he's now telling people, if you support Ron DeSantis, now he's not even a candidate. If you went in with him on his book tour, you're out for Donald Trump's campaign. I don't get any of this divisive hate stuff.
How many times have we said this? Never underestimate Republicans' ability to fuck things up, especially a sure thing.
God.
And never underestimate their ability to eat each other alive.
You know, you would think if you
Newt Gingrich,
just your average American, if you were to take a look at what's happened to our country, how President Crime Family, who showers with daughter, got elected by hiding in his basement, making his money. Again, this was before he got elected. He was saying things like, "Well, all men and women are you know the thing." He was saying stuff like that before he ever got elected. I mean, everybody knew that he was mentally not sharp, and he would turn his back on reporters and go back to the basement. Never answered a question, and somehow he got elected. And then you look at the last 2 years of where our country's gone. They finally had the guy who they wanted to be the head of the FAA finally withdrew his name because they were asking him questions about being an airline guy, and he didn't know any of the answers. He's never been a pilot and doesn't know how to fly a plane. He was the manager of the Denver International Airport, which is one of the worst run airports, the most hodgepodge airport in the history of the world, and he's black, so of course they wanted him to be the new, because he's black, that's why Biden nominated him, President Crime Family. And of course, and finally, after Jack Kennedy and some other guys, grilled him saying, well, sure, if there's an airline emergency of the cockpit, what's the first thing he's supposed to do? Well, I really haven't covered that in my, he's just a manager. He doesn't know anything about the airline industry or FAA or anything else. So finally, he's withdrawn his name. And Mayor Pete Fudgy Boot Fudge, transportation guy, says, well, it was an racist unfair attacks by Republicans. He was eminently qualified, and these racist attacks. It's like when Jack Kennedy asks the nominees for federal judgeships to ask about, well, what is Article 2 of the Constitution? Well, that's not coming to mind right now, Senator. I didn't really focus on that. How the hell could a federal judge not know the articles of the Constitution?
He couldn't answer an ordinary legal thing that said they ask first-year law students to know.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And because they're nominated because of things other than the best for the job. Once again, the content of your character, not the color of your skin's got nothing to do with Democrats. They do not believe in the basic Martin Luther King philosophy that we should all be, get the best person for the job, man, woman, black, white, whatever, get the best person to have the best chance at success in whatever it is you're doing. That's it. But that's wrong. Now everything's equity. Anyway, whatever. I'm dying of these things. And speaking of the military, I don't know what this was. They tried to kind of sneak this through, and it didn't work. Thank God. Oops-a-daisy. No, what the hell is going on there? All right, hold on. I got it right here. Here we go.
Right in front of
the Veterans Administration. And again, when I was retired down in Florida, I did use the Veterans Administration Hospital for my things I had to do, and they were great. It was in West Palm Beach, Florida, and there was plenty of room to park. When you walk in the building, they took care of you. You didn't have to wait 52 weeks to get a colonoscopy or whatever. When I had my emergency thing where I got whatever, they took care of me at 2 a.m. They were doing great. When I got to Atlanta, I went to the VA hospital down there and wherever the hell,
Claremont,
yeah. It's a monster thing, and it was horrible. It's just the worst experience ever. Anyway, so I haven't been back to the VA since, but the VA is now working on their budget. And here's one of the things they tried to sneak through thanks to the equity people in Washington. The Congressional Budget Office has released a review of cost-saving measures for the military and veterans' families, such as eliminating disability benefits for veterans with higher incomes and limiting which veterans are eligible for free veterans health care. If you're a veteran and you come back from the war, but you're good at what you do and you start making some money, it's really not right that we should give you free benefits when a poor veteran who got wounded should really get more of the benefits. So we want to save money so we can have the poor people get the benefits, but not you successful veterans. We're going to take those benefits away from you. Equity in return of benefits for people who serve their country and need medical help?
I have a question. Are they doing that same parameter on the Ukrainian pensions?
Oh, sure, absolutely, yeah. And by the way, we're paying money for their pensions. And by the way, we have now spent more money on Ukraine than our entire budget for Afghanistan. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, and there's no accounting for it. And again, I don't mind supporting they're an ally. They're not a member of NATO, but an ally. At some point. But holy smokes, this is money. And by the way, they're not a democracy. They're not a democratic republic. They're a dictatorship, a fairly friendly dictatorship, but a dictatorship nonetheless. He closes churches. He closes meetings. He abandons free press if he needs to. Come on, they're not like us. And they were Russian. They're all Russians. Well, okay, but they're Soviets or they're East Bloc communist Russian people. That's what they've known it for 1,000 years. Come on, you're killing me.
Well, so are the Latvians, Lithuanians, and Baltic. The Baltic states. The whole thing. What was one of let's see, Estonia. Yeah, but they're not they don't want to be part of Russia.
No, not. But again, it's not like they were, America and then suddenly got taken over by the communist Chinese and we need to bail them out. It's not, you know what I mean?
One of them over there, one of the 3 Baltic states has a female president or something, a young blonde woman. And do you see what she came out over the weekend complaining about Russians? Russians, where we put all these sanctions on them.
Yeah.
Well, the Russians are just laughing at it. The Russian people are laughing. It's like they're doing memes and all kinds of stuff laughing. And she came out offended, like they could at least take this seriously. That we're trying to squeeze them out of their livelihoods.
That's unbelievable.
And by the way, their banks, no problem.
No, they're fine.
Our banks,
yeah, and
going
people are
under.
still buying their gas and oil. I mean, China's now working. I mean, so they're fine.
they're not hurting.
They're having a great time, and we're over there paying $4.25 a gallon for gasoline and stuff. The veterans group, by the proposals to cut VA for successful veterans would cut a half $500 billion over the next 10 years. $500 billion over the next 10 years. Veterans advocates are saying, gee, that sounds sucky. And so luckily, the head of the VA has now said it's so unpopular, we don't think it's a good idea. Nobody in the VA is talking about it except in the executive branch. I haven't heard it from Congress, and we're not going to do it. So there you are. Anyway. Oh, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm having dealing with a thing here. So there's your VA. But then, again, they're trying to pull it. They're trying to pull it off. This guy, the Denver airport guy, Philip Washington, has withdrawn his name because he's freaking ridiculous. They're still coming after. I don't know whether you saw the attacks on Lauren Boebert. This was pretty funny. If I could only find it. Now, here we go. Lauren Boebert's. She's a congresswoman from Colorado, a gun-toting.
Kind of hot.
She's definitely hot.
Librarian way.
Yeah. She's not necessarily pretty, but she's one of those chicks that she's got it all over her. If you went out with her, you're gonna have a good time. You may not score, get lucky, but you're gonna have something's gonna happen. And you go out with her, and you're likely to be involved.
What do you mean
in
when you say she's got it all over her?
The look. She got the look.
Oh.
She's wearing the look. That she's dangerous. Yeah. She's a little kinky.
A little sharp.
Doesn't give a crap about whether you know what I mean. She'll handle herself. You know what I mean. She's kind of
watch her with handcuffs.
Yeah. She might have a pair in her pocket. Just a general principle. So she got that look about her. Which is we can tell. Yeah. We can always tell. And apparently her son has now knocked up his girlfriend, and he's like 15. Wow. So here's some reaction. Dear Lauren Boebert, please teach your sons to use condoms. Sincerely, the human gene pool. Granny Oakley Lauren Boebert needs to pray for herself. And then it lists some of her qualifications. I was a teen mom and high school dropout. My 17-year-old son just got a 15-year-old girl pregnant. My husband was arrested for exposing himself to a teenager.
Really?
I've been arrested more than once. But you should let me lecture and judge you on morals that my family and I have never actually lived by, unquote.
She's not still married to him.
I don't know. Lady Whistledown says, reminders. Public education came as a result of black people efforts during Reconstruction. Lauren Boebert dropped out of high school and got a GED a month before she went to Congress. She is ill-equipped in every way to speak on education in this country. She wants to abolish the education department. Get rid of it totally. Liam Neeson, quote, even if you, I'm going to say a bad word here at the end. You have to say it because otherwise it wouldn't make the sense.
Do it in his accent.
Even if you found a feral child in the woods behind the Colorado Dollar General and then educated it on absolutely nothing but Dukes of Hazzard reruns and Mountain Dew nutrition, it would still have a better understanding of the U.S. Constitution than Lauren fucking Boebert. A feral kid raised on Mountain Dew.
That is funny. But I think you went into a little Scottish brogue.
I had kind of a
Scottish
there. I introduces me, boy, on the top of the morning to you.
Liam always talks real low like this.
I have a certain set of skills. I will see you, and I will kill you.
You did see that thing from the bear where he's trying to buy the Lucky Charms in the store, right?
No.
He sent you that thing
I
where
don't
the little teddy bear is talking to Liam Neeson. We sent that
Oh,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
So no one's gonna follow me home. No, I don't think so.
Liam. And by the way, he blasts America for being gun crazy.
Everything he does.
That's all he does.
Gun.
Made you a multi-millionaire.
I like the end of that. He hands him a 20 to Ted, and he says, I won't forget what you've done for me here today. And Ted goes, I really wish you would.
How about some? Oops, that's a VU Benny's. Hold on a second. Oh, here we go. Some amusing headlines from our friends at the Babylon Bee. And again, I've just if you want to have a good chuckle one day, even just reading the headlines. Quote, "This is just like Nazi Germany." A liberal activist, Sharon Welch, declared today that she was literally living in Nazi Germany after parents removed pornographic material from her elementary school. It's Nazi Germany. They shut down Pornhub on the computers in the library. Pilot welcomes passengers aboard and reassures them he was not a diversity hire. He's just an actual regular pilot. Trump exploits little-known legal loophole where you avoid indictment by not committing a crime. Trump indicted for removing mattress tag in 1997. Chinese military to just shout out the wrong pronouns at American soldiers, and that will cripple the American fighting force. Hunter Biden. Hunter wishing he'd known more about this hush money concept a whole lot earlier in his life. Trump asks ChatGPT for better Ron DeSantis nicknames. And one more, a picture of a brunette girl. And the Babylon Bee says, what were they thinking? Fox News ratings plunge after hiring non-blonde anchor with no cleavage. Anyway, on we go and on we go for the Babylon Bee. Oh, one more amusing thing. There have been a couple of prescription drugs that are getting a lot of attention now on social media and Twitter and things like that because they've been kind of outed about what they really do. One of them was the one that if you stop taking it, your body blows up or something, really just horrible stuff. But now even Doonesbury, the Sunday a cartoon of Doonesbury with Gary Trudeau, has Doonesbury and his little hot chick watching TV on the couch, and the TV man is saying, "Do you suffer from mild forgetfulness? Well, it might be time for a placebo. Prevagen is the only placebo proven to stimulate denial in older adults with memory loss. How? Well, it contains a synthetic ingredient like one found in jellyfish who have memories like elephants. Anecdotal results may vary, but 3 out of 4 pharmacists recommend Prevagen and other products they carry." Which is a very funny line. We recommend the products we carry. Ask your pharmacist if spending $750 a year on Prevagen is right for you. And then Gary says, "Gee, is this strip a rerun? It looks familiar." And the girl says, "Ah, wow, good recall. No Prevagen for you." I mean, Prevagen, you'd think that they would be going nuts about stuff like this. And there's another Prevagen and another one, too, are saying it's the one for, if it's not memory loss, it's good health or something. And apparently if you stop taking it, your body reacts by gaining 40 pounds and, instantaneous diarrhea or something,
Well, I need to get off this, doctor. Well, if you get off of it.
No, I wouldn't do that, sir, no. I mean, my God. But now they're being talked about, which is... And
Did you see where Pfizer or Moderna just bought a pharmaceutical company that specializes in side effects of the flu, not the flu shot, the so-called vaccine.
The vaccine, really?
So basically now they've basically created the problem, and now they're going to make money off these.
Have you heard the commercials? One of the big things going on now in the legal community, advertising on radio and television, is the next big legal issue in America, bigger than... I can't think of the other issues that have been going on, bigger than the issue of...
Say it!
Well, the biggest issue that's coming now is lawsuits based on the COVID vaccine.
Yeah. They're immune.
Lawyers are now... There are seminars for lawyers who want to get in on how to sue over the vaccine and results of what happened in the vaccine. Now they're having seminars because it's the new big issue. What are the other big issues? I'm trying to think of the other big issues we had.
The hernia mesh.
Yes.
Which I know someone had trouble with that, yeah.
But again, I mean, the issue, the medical issues on things
the ponds up in Camp Lejeune.
Yeah, there you go. Cancer-causing chemical stuff.
Myasthenitis, what is it? Myasthenioma?
Myelitis or whatever it is. But again, the next big thing is going to be lawsuits over the COVID
But they're supposedly immune.
The lawyers are going to make $1 billion on it, and they have seminars on how to deal with all these new, because this is the new big thing coming. Well, I mean,
how will that
had to happen?
How will that affect the 2024 elections?
I don't know.
Because at the end of the day, what they're going to do to Trump is they're going to go after him for listening to Fauci. He never.
They should.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be. I honestly, I don't think. I think the issue with Trump is going to be just he's Donald Trump, and the people who are never going to vote for him hopefully will stay home. But if they all turn out even more to vote for any Democrat, they voted for Biden over. I mean, it's just they knew he was worthless.
Now, hopefully, a lot of them learned their lesson, not the diehards.
Well, not only
they're
that,
still not going to vote for Trump. They may stay home.
But the media outlets make money off of his name.
I know. But again, I don't even remember anything really about his thing in COVID. That was 2 years ago. It's going to be 4 years ago. By that point, I don't think anybody's going to hold anything about the virus with Trump. I think they're going to see where we are with the economy and wars and everything else, but also what we've done with the equity business and you've got to be black to get a job in America soon. Jesus, dividing the country, the hate, the division, and it's worse than ever. And I'm a party of it. I despise these Democrat leaders who are deliberately taking us down the wrong route and doing it just for the power. They can't think it's good for America to divide the races.
They don't care about America. All they care about is their party.
I know. It's all horse shit. Anyway, Pete, I got a bunch of things to talk to you about. Holy Crap at Sports a little later on, I'm guessing, or
later, yeah, when I finally get home.
Oh, there you go. Anyway, Holy Crap at Sports, the best sportscast in America, and that's coming up. And I want to ask you about the Final Four and some NFL changes and Deion rules. And I actually spent a few minutes watching fishing. Yes, sir.
Also, I don't know if you've read this yet, but Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Is now requesting he wants to leave the Ravens.
Yeah.
So what does that do for the Falcons?
They're not.
They're not going to get
him. They're not.
Now I thought they tagged him. Then they didn't tag him. That was the choice was to tag.
They did something weird that you can trade for him now.
Yeah, he did like a semi-tag, I think, until. So now he wants out of. Now why would he?
He's been wanting out of Baltimore for 2 years now. He doesn't want. They won't give him his contract guaranteed. Nobody's going to give him that. You've been an idiot to give him that. He's been hurt. He's missed the last two in the last seasons, including the playoffs.
And he's going to get hurt more because he's a runner. If you're a runner, you're going to get hurt more than a pocket passer.
Well, he's a better passer than people. He's much better than Michael Vick at passing. He's a better passer than people give him credit for.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Even on the run. I mean, the guy is a great
if
talent.
He's healthy,
but
if
you're a runner, you're going to get hurt. You're not going to play 16 games, 18 games.
And give him a guaranteed contract, and the sucker hasn't finished the last third of the last 2 seasons.
I know. Anyway, we'll talk about that also, and the Deion rules. And I was watching fishing. I swear to God, bass fishing tournament.
Why were you watching fishing?
I don't know. First, a word from one of our wonderful, fabulous sponsors, SwapMyWhip.com. Whip, of course, being a colloquial phrase for a ride. SwapMyWhip.com. Here's the deal. You're driving along, you see a car you've always wanted. Oh, man, I love that car. And then you go to SwapMyWhip.com, and you may find like-minded car owners who have the car you've always been looking for, and you want to maybe make a trade with them, or maybe they've got a friend who's got one that you've got, wants to get what you have, and he has a friend with the. See what I mean? No dealers, no middlemen, no car salespeople, stuff like that. You work out your own deal, finding something you've always wanted, or maybe just for kicks or whatever. It's a fun thing to do, and it may be exactly what you're looking for. SwapMyWhip.com. And it's not just cars, obviously, trucks and SUVs and wagons and boats, jet skis, off-road vehicles, ATVs, go-karts, maybe scooters, probably motorcycles, electric, I don't know, whatever. If you can ride it, chances are you can make a swap for it. SwapMyWhip.com. And use the coupon code KIMMER, KIMMER, and it's 180 days of free premium listings on SwapMyWhip.com. And we're glad to have them aboard as sponsors, that's for sure. Okay, Pete, first of all, the Final Four. I have to say, I was kind of disappointed. I had absolutely no interest in watching the Sweet Eight or the Final Four, but I did just to watch them. The Elite Eight, whatever it is. And I did watch them. Let me make a couple of observations, but first let me ask you this. Do you have any reaction to, now they got the 4 now, right? Or is it the 2? The 4 are San Diego State.
Yay.
And beat Creighton. And
Controversial end to that. They
I want to ask you about that.
A second left.
Tie game, like 2 seconds left, or 4, 5, 6 seconds
They
left.
let him play the
Tie
whole game.
Yep. And the guy goes in to take a shot, and he supposedly gets fouled. Would you call that a foul? He kind of grabbed him, or he kind of touched him.
He probably did foul him.
It's an inky-dinky foul. Tie game, and 4 seconds left, and he calls a foul going to the basket, and the guy misses the first shot, and of course he gets 2 because of all the thing, and he sinks the second one, game over. They trapped him on coming back for 2 seconds left, and the game's over. But what a horrible way to end.
I know.
That, I mean, again...
Well, it gets down to these referees. They think it's all about them.
Yeah. Anyway, now do you have any? I can't remember the other team. Well, it shows you. I can't remember the other 3 teams.
Florida Atlantic is playing San
right.
Diego State, so they got the 2 underdogs against each other.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be UConn, Texas. Texas blew that game.
I thought
blew that game. And Miami, they did not quit. They did not quit. You got to hand it to them. And a lot of people complain the way Miami put their team together. Well, I don't care how they put the teams together. I just think Texas just blew it. In fact, someone pointed out, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched part of it. I was part of those games.
See, the Miami guy's under his own basket, and he's inbounding, and he throws it off the Texas guy's back. Goes right back to him, and he puts the ball up. Well, it was his back. He hit it off his butt, which is funny. The Hurricanes went on a 37-17 run after he did that and won the game.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It totally demoralized that and the Longhorn guy getting hurt a little bit. You talk about blowing a game. So Miami deserves to be in this. Miami, UConn. UConn just destroyed Gonzaga.
I tell you, I mean, that was I did
embarrassed them.
Now, do you have a final, or do you care one way or the other?
Well, seeing as I audited classes at San Diego State, I'll be going for the Aztecs. I got a good friend who's a Hurricanes fan, so if she wins, I'm not going to be unhappy.
Is it UConn, Texas?
I don't want UConn to win, and it's UConn against Miami and San Diego State against FAU, Boca Raton's finest.
And is that tonight? And when's the
tonight?
final?
When is that, Flounder? Is that Saturday?
Do they wait?
It's probably
they
Saturday.
Don't wait a whole week. They can't wait a whole week.
Yeah, because they always do the game. The final's on Monday night, remember?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so the Final Four is next weekend, right?
It'll be Saturday. And they give them a
day
off.
a whole week off?
Yeah. Yeah. They got to draw this out. Stretch it out.
I don't remember. I don't remember that being a week.
I guarantee the ratings are probably going to be down too because people go, I don't know these people.
I don't know those.
But I love it when they.
Well, no. Let me. My overall reaction again. I didn't.
Yeah, because not only that, everyone who did brackets are just.
Oh, there's no brackets.
No brackets because of all the upsets.
No number one seed got it.
Nobody picked it.
Yeah. But here's my overall, and again, I didn't see a lot. I'd watch maybe 5 or 6 minutes at a time. Then I'd do something else, and I watch something else. So I watched a little bit of several of the games. My overall reaction is, I have never seen a more helter-skelter, freaked out, running rate, people flying all over the court and trying to block them and double traps and triple things and they're palming the ball and they're taking 4 steps sliding when they get the. I mean, it's just like like backyard basketball where they say I'm open, throw it over to me. There were no play, nobody ever. I mean, it was just running, scrambling around and blocking people and knocking them down.
More entertaining than the NBA.
It's now speed demons. It has nothing to do. If you can shoot a 3-pointer and you can race fast, you're going to make the team. I mean, it was no more power forward to get in the throne and bing bang. I mean, it's just
Princeton still passes the ball around. There's a few that.
Well, but I mean, my overall, and maybe it's just the minutes I saw, but every time I watch a few minutes of the game, they were just racing and running and flying around and trying to find a guy, and every time they throw the ball, they take 4 steps before they put their plant.
I saw someone call on the travel. I saw a travel call.
I did see one travel call because he was blocked by somebody in the paint and he just stepped out and they called him for traveling. I can't believe it. They travel every time they palm. Oh my God, the palming. It's like they might as well go like this and put it around their heads when they're
put it on a dish.
And I love when they're doing one dribble and then taking like 6 steps. One dribble 6 steps. Oh my God. I mean, I'm going nuts. Throw the flag.
It's Harlem Globetrotters.
God. Anyway,
who doesn't like the Harlem Globetrotters?
And I honestly, Major League.
That'd be easy there, John Smoltz.
Well, no. When I was Sunday, when I go to the weekends, I go to the stable, and then I was going to go hit balls, whatever. I was doing things. So, but when I'm home, I'm working on the podcast, and I'm looking at stuff and looking up stories and things like that. And while I'm doing that, I have things on in the background, and I was kind of looking about. It was before the the Final Four. I mean, the basketball started and the golf, I think, was doing so. Anyway, so I'm flipping around the stations and I see bass fishing live from Lake so-and-so. And so I tuned it in. And sure enough, it's a guy in a boat and he's throwing a reel out and he's, the camera guy's in a boat and doing stuff. And, he gets one, he's got one. Oh, yeah, 2.4 pounds. Oh, yeah. And I'm actually watching bass fishing. And the thing, and by the way, I used to love to. I used to fish 4 or 5 days a week on the way back from the golf course in the lagoons at the country club.
Come up
when I was
come
retired.
down to the mountains of Macon Lake.
I've got fishing poles, and I think I still have all my lures
fishing?
and tackle and stuff. But anyway, I used to love to go just pond fishing or lake fishing and stuff. But I really did. But the thing that amazed me was those guys have more logos than NASCAR. I mean, they're covered solid. And even little, like a 1-inch logo of Steve's something. I mean, how the hell can you? I mean, nobody can see it. I mean, the next time you see it, go through, look at bass, look at their. I mean, they're covered. It must have 150 little teeny. That's the damnedest thing. And they never show you, how they did it and what they do, why they're good fishermen and I may not be. You know what I mean? You've gone fishing, right? Some guys will put the thing in the water and they catch a. I mean, they're just good at it. And the rest of us will do the same thing, do little things and things and go to the nothing for hours, and maybe you get one. But again, what's the difference? I want to know what
they know where to put it.
And they all have depth finders and
they read
fish
the
finder.
The bank. And
I know, and they can also put it exactly where they want, and then but again, wouldn't you love to? I mean, it just seemed to me that it'd be fun to get more into why they're so good at it, and I may not be. And I was good. I caught fish every time I went. Anyway,
the only time I find fishing entertaining is when you go to the Bill Dance highlight reels or the bloopers, and he's underneath the tree, and the water moccasin drops down into his boat.
Oh boy, that would not be a happy experience.
And he's trying to hit it with the fishing pole, and it's trying to chase him.
Water moccasins are. They used to chase me on Jack the Good Boy down the freaking streets in Florida.
I hate those.
I mean, literally, I got out there and you're chasing us down the dirt road.
I tell my great uncle used to go out by his pond there in Mississippi with his bulldozer, and he'd be moving stuff around, clearing out the pond. And he went to a nest of water moccasins, and they were biting the wheels of the bulldozer and trying to climb up.
Yeah, they want to eat you.
And he basically had his pistol, and he was picking them off.
Yeah. They want to save you, take you home and save you for later, too. I mean, they're it's a freaking nasty.
That's a nasty creature. Sons of bitch. I stepped
dirty
on
bastards.
I stepped on one of those bastards too. Son of a bitch.
Oh, I've come way too close. One more sports thing, if you don't mind. The NFL. Their meeting is tomorrow or sometime soon. I think today or tomorrow, whatever. Coming up. NFL meeting.
New ways to screw the fan.
Well, now let me ask you about this. They're going to change the kicking game. They're considering kicking game changes, which would be more like the college rule, which allows touchbacks on fair catches of kickoffs and moving the touchback spot to the 25-yard line on punts. So, in other words, you can call a fair catch on a kickoff and they move it to the 25, which is what they do. And that's all they do in college now. They all call fair catches and let it go.
Why don't they get rid of the kick?
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, the problem is Troy Vincent, what's his name here? Troy Vincent, the executive guy at NFL, said the league needs more data from the XFL rule that reduces high-speed collisions by lining up coverage players 35 yards ahead of the kicker and 5 yards apart from blockers. The college rule allows fair catches to be treated like touchbacks, and it reduces injuries 25%. He says it may not be perfect, but it'll warrant some good discussion. The one thing we all agreed upon is you can't leave the play as it is on kickoffs, not with the injury rates at what we saw. You can't leave it as it is. Well, then, take it away.
What would they replace it with? What would you play? Like a jump ball?
Here's a couple of things.
That'd be fun, a jump ball.
Here's a couple of things. Two other rule changes among 8-foot forward. Meeting next week in Arizona. They have to have the support of 24 out of the 32 NFL teams. One rule includes making roughing the passer penalty and personal foul penalty subject to video review. That might lead to a problem, but it also might stop from touching the freaking quarterback on the way down, and all of a sudden it's 15 yards.
The games are already like 3 hours and 30 minutes.
I know.
It'll be 4-hour games.
I know. And again, if you keep protecting everybody, then you're not playing football anymore, and you might as well just make the sport different. Others, the option to try to convert a 4th and 20 from the kicking team's 20-yard line instead of attempting an onside kick. So if instead of an onside kick, they would try to make you convert a 4th down and 20 from your own 20-yard line. So if you miss it, they get the ball on your 20, which would be pretty ridiculous, as opposed to an onside kick. Why would they eliminate onside kicks? One more, whether to add a flex option for Thursday Night Football to make sure that Amazon has more competitive games to watch. And they say there's no evidence at all that games played on Thursday with shorter rest leads to injuries. Bullshit. Oh, yeah, I don't believe you on that one, Pally.
Peter Burns of ESPN had a thing. He says, screw that. The best game should be Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
The worst game should be on Thursday night.
Yeah, I don't want to... Well, it's not fair. It's
not fair.
We're breaking the law.
You sound like my nephew. It's not fair. I want a waffle. Last night, here's what we're getting. Okay, eat your noodles, and you can have dessert. Cake and ice cream. I want a waffle. No, if you eat your noodles, you get cake. What kid passes up cake and ice cream? I want a waffle. Yeah. We're saving waffle for breakfast. It's a breakfast meal. And me being the smartest, go, not in Europe. They eat waffle all the time. It's like, shut up.
Thanks, Pete.
Shut up.
I'm glad
That's
you stayed
my job
here.
as an uncle.
Glad to have you visiting our house here. Yeah, that's your Uncle Pete.
And then they're like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to get my car to move it down to the driveway. And can we ride in the race car? Can we ride in the race car? I said, yeah, but you can't touch any buttons.
Forget it.
Every radio, the windows up and down the whole way.
Well, there you go. Why not? Have you heard about in Japan? There's a very famous story from the 17th century concerning a little girl, and it's a special story about a tragic romance and enshrining a 16-year-old girl forever in Japanese literature and theater. This date in 1682. A great fire in Tokyo, forcing a little girl named Miola and her family to seek refuge in a local temple to escape the fire. There she met Ikuto, a temple page with whom she soon found herself in love. Sadly, though, the budding romance was destined to last only as long as the family found shelter in the temple. Her family returned home. The young couple was separated. Desperate to reconnect, the girl did something that would have made sense only to a forlorn, lovelorn teenager. She started a fire in her own home, hoping to recreate the circumstances that would have her family flee once again to the temple to meet her young love. She was 16. The penalty for arson in Japan is getting burned at the stake.
Oh, boy.
But you have to be over the age of 15 in order to be executed in the year 1682 in Japan. The magistrate, hearing Iola's case, was inclined to mercy and wanted to spare the girl from fearsome penalty of being burned at the stake. So he said to her, you must be 15 years old, aren't you? Alas, she was so scared and mistook his meaning and responded with the truth, I'm 16. Exasperated, the judge said, no, you must be 15, right? I mean, you're 15 years old, are you not? And she said, no, Your Honor, I'm 16. So they strapped her down and burned her alive at the stake.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
That's your happy story?
No, that's our sad day in history of the...
God.
Lordy, I know it's not right in any way.
That's horrible.
I'm so sorry.
You want an Uber fact?
I do.
It's a bad word here.
All right.
What do you do when you stub your toe, you break your toe, you hit your head with the thing?
Blanket.
What do you yell?
GD it. But I don't now. I don't say that phrase anymore. I do once if it slips out once in a while, and I always apologize. But I usually say crap or shit or or GD or F. The F word, the S word.
That's what you yell.
Yeah.
Saying that word when you're in pain can actually boost your pain tolerance by triggering the fight or flight response in the brain.
By reacting out loud with a loud
word.
negative word.
Yeah.
So wait, it helps or hurts it more?
It helps.
It helps you abide by pain.
Yeah.
Well, I should never feel anything then. I mean, seriously, I should be immune for 4 lives.
Flounder, you got Netflix, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you watched Kunk on Earth?
No.
It's a British woman pretending to be
Kunk?
Her fake name is Kunk. She's a British comedian.
Spell it.
C-U-N-K.
Conk.
It's called Kunk. It's kind of like the old. Who was the old guy that used to do the nature films? The British guy, David
Attenborough.
Attenborough. Well, it's kind of like that, where she's walking around places or talking about the history of people. She's talking about Christianity, and she's making fun of a Jesus thing, and she turns to the camera. It's all fun. And she goes, "Don't worry, I'm doing the Muslims next." but at one point, she goes that it was ironic that Jesus Christ was a carpenter. Because it's ironic that he was named the exact words that you yell
when you bag your Dad. That's funny.
All right, here we go. We got a new segment here.
The new segment.
The new segment's called Ask the Kimmer.
Oh, God. Uh-oh.
Okay, I just have to find it because... here we go, right here.
Take your time. I got many things.
Kimmer?
Yeah.
If a candle shop burned down, would it smell nice?
Oh, well, it would smell like burned candles, all right. Sea mist.
Sea mist.
Like sea mist.
Sea foam. If you replace the W's and what, when, and where with T's.
All right. If you place a W in...
What, when, and where. If you place the W with a T, you'd have the answer to those questions.
That, then, and there.
That, then, and there.
That, then, and there.
Speaking of explosions, did y'all see the Hershey explosion this weekend in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, factory blew up. Killed a bunch of people. I don't think they figured out why yet.
No, it's still under investigation.
Chocolate blew up?
But 7 people died.
Gas leak, but I don't know.
And there's a shot of it in the place. It's just a giant explosion.
Another food processing plant goes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
It's like the meat processor. So with the 3 or 4 of those plants went
more than
bingo.
Yeah, more than that.
All stuff that's bad for you.
All right.
Yeah.
What is don't a contraction of, Kimmer?
Do not.
So why does do not you dare sound so weird?
Do not you dare. Good point.
All right.
Do not you dare.
Clapping is just hitting yourself a lot because you like something.
That's right. Yeah, smash your own hand together. Ouch.
I saw someone at the ball game yesterday. It was up in the crowd. Some lady, she was literally, this is for you YouTubers, she was doing this.
Oh, the hand pat of the, didn't want to. That's Lady Astor, yes.
Why don't Jedis just turn off their opponent's lightsabers by using the Force to turn the on-off button off?
Well, there you are. Just concentrate real hard.
Really? Is brushing your teeth the only time you clean your skeleton?
Yeah, probably. Right. Although I'm working on that nail's almost gone.
I don't want to see that.
I'm chipping away at that.
Kimmer, does it depress you at night?
Yeah.
When you stare up at the sky and you realize it's just a giant abyss of nothingness, and the only thing keeping you from falling into it is gravity?
No, I normally have thoughts that are even worse than that.
And you mentioned this earlier about the things about remembering and the drugs about memories.
Yeah.
How come our brains allow us to know we've forgotten something, but not what we forgot?
Yeah. Damn, I forgot what I was going to do. It happened on the air on Friday. I was talking on the radio with the guys on Friday morning, and I was one major point I wanted to make about West Point and the role playing we did that time, and I totally forgot about the role playing thing, but I knew it was the wokeness, but I just couldn't. It wouldn't come out. It wouldn't come out of my mouth. So anyway,
woman is suing KFC over a lack of meat-free options.
It's a chicken store.
Feels she's discriminated against. So Warren wrote back to her.
It's a chicken store.
Says
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I completely sympathize. The other day, I went to World of Carpet to buy a new telescope, but was astounded and disgusted at the complete lack of optical equipment. It's almost as if they purposely set out to satisfy the needs of carpet buyers, but deliberately snubbed those of us who weren't. Utter madness.
It's like Letterman with his Just Pants. Remember that story? Just Pants. What do you have hats? Just Pants. How about shoes? You got Just Pants.
It's pants. All right. Okay, I'm on my way here this morning, and I stopped by Chick-fil-A. Yeah. 2 things happened.
All right.
The first time I've ever had a conversation with the girl standing outside. They had 2 cute little girls standing out the drive-thru. So I went through the drive-thru.
But there were humans outside.
Humans outside. You're taking your order. Don't you usually find that?
No, I haven't been to a Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
Yeah, usually in Chick-fil-A, because a lot of the times with Chick-fil-A now, it's A lot of the restaurants are strictly drive-through.
Yeah.
They don't have
Dunkin' or Krispy Kreme.
So a lot of those, they have the bigger drive-throughs, and they usually have 2 to 3
So they actually
people.
have a girl out there taking the order, so you don't talk into a machine.
Right.
Okay.
Mostly. And some Wendy's that don't have enough people, so you can't go and sit down anymore.
Right.
Wendy, the one here.
Yeah, that's
The one here sucks.
Yeah. All right, so the girl outside.
So I go outside, and she pulls up a cute little girl. She had to be, 17? I don't know.
Yeah, good.
She
Yeah,
worked
right,
there, right?
about right. Yeah.
First time one
Half
starts
your
a
age plus
conversation
20.
with me.
Yeah. Half your age minus 15,
All right,
or isn't that
just
it? Sorry.
get back in the boat.
Half your age minus 30.
Back in the boat.
That's all right.
All right. She goes, "Is this a Ferrari?"
Yes, it is.
No, I said no. It's a Porsche. And she goes, "Oh, I can't tell them apart." And she said Porsche because all my brothers just love cars like this, and I just can't tell them apart. I said, "Well, you can impress your brothers by saying Porsche." But it's not
tried to
Porsche.
correct her.
And she goes, "Yeah, I got 8." So you got 8 what? She goes, and she's got her head in the car now, looking around. She goes, "Yeah, I got 8 brothers." I said, "You have 8 brothers?" And I said, "Well, are you somewhere in the middle of something?" She goes, "No, I got 5 sisters."
Whoa.
Catholic family.
What the hell?
Whoa.
Where am I making?
I bet
That's 15.
that's a Catholic family right there.
Wait a minute. That's 13, 14 with her.
8 and 5. That's 13, 14. Yeah, 14. It said there'd be no math.
The first thing that goes is
I
the
didn't
math.
have my abacus with me.
One of my best friends
Oh my
friends
God.
has
Man,
12.
and you don't hear that cute little white girl, but a white family with 13, 14 kids these days, you just don't hear much about anymore.
Wow. I grew up in our family in the after World War II. People started having a lot of kids, subdivisions, everything else, growing the families, and we had a neighbor who had 9 kids, but that was one out of anybody, and we that was very rare, but still, and I think they were
suburb of
Catholic,
Atlanta.
but that was back in the Catholics were very strict about birth control.
So that was weird. So I'm pulling
that's
away
strange.
and everything. God, I had a conversation with someone. You usually don't have a conversation.
So she takes down your order and then she calls it in, or does she
No,
walk it in?
no,
or-
she's got a little
Types
pad
it
there.
in?
Types it in. You put your card in the thing she has
So
there, and then
when
you
did they
keep
get
going.
rid of the voice things?
Well, they have them there every once in a while, but when they're busy,
I gotcha.
they send the people.
Because
out
I've never
there.
seen it. I've never been to one. I haven't been to a drive-through
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A
is
in
like
years.
clockwork.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, they're the best. I
But
know.
this something happened next, which almost
Yeah,
killed my belief in humanity. Because
no,
one of the
not-
few things we still have here, especially in the South, is
Yeah.
people know what order you're in at the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. There's 2 lanes.
yes.
And one goes,
Yeah.
then the other goes.
Right.
Well, I've never had any doubt what was going to happen here until today. Some
Somebody
douche white guy in a Toyota RAV decided, no, I'm following the guy in front of me. It's like, easy there, brother. I have a pistol right next to me on the No, there's no way in hell you're getting in front of me. We have a way we do things here.
Yeah.
And this is one after another. There's no break-ins. There's no
So
following
when
the guy in front. So he's acting like he's going to hit the car. And I'm just looking at him like, if you hit my car, I will go through that glass.
Yeah.
And he finally, at the last second, he pulls back a little bit, and I get in. He says, "There's no way in hell you're going to do this, buddy.
Yeah.
We do
That's
things a
just-
certain way."
Yeah.
What was his license plate?
He was behind me at that point,
Okay.
and I stared at him the whole way like, "You mother, just get out! Please get out of that car, you old fart."
Every time when I drive here to Flounders on the back route coming down Alpharetta Highway and Main Street, going through Roswell and everything else, where there's a point where the right-hand lane is a right turn only lane when you're coming down a hill, and people will get in there because they try to cut you off to cut in front of you to go straight down the hill. Every single time I come down, somebody tries to cut me off, and I always fight them. Now, if someone is on my right and asks me, can I get in, or puts on their blinker and goes like this, something, I'll let them in, no problem. But if you try to screw me, then you're asking for it, and it's when, and by the way, ladies, sorry, this is a guy thing. We can't be guys anymore. We can't be men anymore. We can't act, let's do a little something, pally boy. So we can't do it in most circumstances. So the rare opportunities we do get to say, oh yeah, try it, pally boy. I'm taking advantage of it. And it may lead to something one day, because that's what happens in road rage and stuff like that. But, you get to the point where at some point we still have to be a man once in a while and stand up for what you freaking believe in and say, that's wrong, and I'm not letting you do it. Just turn the other cheek stuff is, great for, like Jesus and everything. I don't know. No, it's a good philosophy, though. I agree with the philosophy. I'm not saying no to the philosophy.
I'm distancing myself from all that. Okay, here.
The following viewpoint is...
Who do you hate more, Hillary
Yeah.
or the Taliban?
Hillary, I think, actually.
Okay, then. At least you're being honest. Hillary Clinton tweeted over the weekend, and the Taliban schooled her. Okay. Hillary tweeted, girls in Afghanistan should be going back to school tomorrow, but the Taliban is only allowing boys to be educated.
Yeah.
So the Taliban public relations director, that's his title.
PR guy.
I'm not kidding.
That's funny.
Tweeted this to Hillary Clinton.
To Hillary.
You spent $700 million in our country trying to teach women and girls that there are 140 different genders. No wonder you lost to the orange gangster. You left a huge mess behind in Afghanistan, just like your husband did with that dress.
A huge mess. Oh, my God. That's hysterical. That can't be real. That's just, I love it. The Taliban. Wacky sense of humor, those guys.
Crazy.
Oh,
all right. Is it time for the truly tasteless joke as we pull up the very easy to find, because we only got like one or two.
We'll be able to find some over the break.
Speaking of which, next week we're off.
Right. We are here today
this
and
week.
Thursday. Next week we are gone.
Which, by the way, Cindy, I need to get in touch with you. I'm going to email you later. I've been trying to find your email. So if you want to send it to me again on Yahoo or Gmail, whichever one, Cindy, or our text
Cindy
person, I'm going to try to get together some morning, Monday or Thursday, that I can drive it over there before I come here to do the show.
Excellent.
Okay, but I'll get in touch with her. Oh, by the way, I forgot my sheet, so Atlanta Custom Closets will owe you 2 next time on Thursday.
Atlanta Custom Closets. And again, you've got Easter coming up, but that it doesn't meet any anniversary or a prom or something. Just want to make your wife happy or your whole family. Get your closets organized. Atlanta Custom Closets. They'll come. And again, you don't have to like tear down your house and build a new closet. They show you how to take care of what you should have.
That's right.
Atlanta Custom Closets.
But I forgot, it's closetpro.net. If I forgot the phone number.
Atlanta Custom Closets.
But
yeah,
farmhouseprintingco.com.
There you are.
You're going to get all your T-shirt needs. Farmhouse Printing Company. It's a farmhouseprintingco.com.
Quality. You saw the Podcat blanket.
Yes, sir.
My golf towel. I showed you the T-shirts I got for Jennifer with the horsey pictures and stuff. Quality, quality, quality. And great price. And you can order one. You can order one T-shirt. You don't have to order 50 to make a deal. Why?
Order 50
Order
while
100
you're
and
there.
a half. That's
all right. Here's your truly tasteless joke. Today we will pick on Asians.
Oh, thank God, because tomorrow is Asian cheerleader night at the Kimmers.
Tuesdays.
I can't believe. Hope they don't hold this.
That's why he
me.
said that today. He goes, with all the storms, you want to just hold off and we'll do one tomorrow?
Yeah, no. I'm not. No.
Tomorrow's a
I
big
need
night.
To rest up for tomorrow Asian cheerleader night. I'd be getting up early on Tuesday nights. I can tell you that.
Why were all the Chinese paratroopers killed during practice?
They didn't want to open their chutes early or save their chutes for later.
They were using bamboo chutes.
Bamboo chutes, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
That's not going to work.
All right, what do we got here?
All right,
I got birthdays and a little history
Wait,
note here.
I thought you put your book down. I thought you were ready to go. All right.
I got a couple of mentions here. Michael York, remember the famous British actor?
D'Artagnan.
The
Musketeer movies.
Michael
Logan's
York.
Run.
Wasn't he in one with Chris? Who's that dish blonde
Winston
from
Churchill?
Fahrenheit 541 or whatever?
Ginny
Christie
Gutter.
He's been in a couple of movies with a couple.
Well, Logan's
of
Run was Ginny a Gutter.
Yeah,
that turned up nose. And,
Michael York is 81.
Wow, I love Michael York. He was in the Austin
Dr. Zhivago.
Powers.
He was in a bunch of things. That's right too. He played a comedy role. He's done many comedy roles. Quentin Tarantino is 60, a man with a foot fetish. Although if you like his movies, Christoph Waltz, the famous actor, won an Oscar for the Quentin Tarantino movie Inglourious Bastards, and he also, Christoph Waltz, from his movie, also won for Django Unchained. Won 2 Oscars for 2 Quentin Tarantino movies.
He's got a show on Amazon I haven't quite started watching yet.
The Kill Bill movies, when they're on, I tape them and watch the highlights. I mean, he's a total foot fetish freak. And a violent streak in him, just explosions of body parts.
The other day,
God.
Somebody on 680 The Fan were talking that he said years ago he's only going to make 9 movies. He wasn't going to be an old man doing it. And he's like,
really?
I think he's my age. And he said he'll make 9, and he's working on his 9th right now.
Huh. Well, he knows what he's got to be loaded. What more does he need, I assume?
But that's ridiculous because so many Akira Kurosawa did it up into his 80s. I mean, you can direct when you're older.
Well, if he doesn't care anymore, I mean, it's like I don't know. If you're not feeling it, get out.
Maybe he's not going to outgrow using the N-word every other sentence.
God, well, that's the other thing. It kills me. The last time I tried to watch Django Unchained, it was on BET, and they edit out all the N-words. How the hell can you watch Django and they edit out all the... I mean, come on.
I can watch that shit.
God. Mariah Carey is either 53 or 54. She lists both birthdays or dates. And Fergie, the singer girl Fergie's 48 today. Speaking... Yeah, that could be a little thing there. A little drive down.
They do that Pump It song, and she starts that singing. That's one of the sexiest voices.
Well, Fergie's got a little. She could take a ride down the Kimmer Boulevard of Love. I don't know. 1979, Eric Clapton married George Harrison's ex-wife, Patty Boyd. She inspired Clapton's songs "Layla" and "Wonderful Tonight," plus Harrison's hit "Something."
She also there's a song called "Promises" that God, Wedding Ring or something. I forgot.
By Clapton?
By Clapton was also, you can tell us about her. You know, she met George Harrison on the movie, was it Help or Hard Day's Night? Hard Day's Night. She met on the first day of filming. She was a 17-year-old model, and they met and fell. It was love at first sight.
Really?
When she was 17. I don't know how old he was.
I'll be damned. That was 1979 when he married his ex-wife.
She fell out of love later.
Well, apparently so, yeah. Or he fell out of it or something. Too much use. 1991, tough guy Donnie Wahlberg from New Kids on the Block was arrested in Louisville because he decided to pour a bottle of vodka on the carpet in his hotel room and then set it on fire. Arson charge. They negotiated it down to criminal mischief. 1987, the hit TV Stardom. He starred in the hit TV show Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd, and to this day, Bruce Willis, on this very day, got his first movie role. On this day, 1987, Blind Date with Kim Basinger.
Horrible movie.
And his next film was Die Hard.
Really?
I mean, what a career. Moonlighting, Blind Date, and Die Hard, and boom, there you go. I mean, the three...
Blind Date was horrible.
Yeah.
Wasn't Phil, Phil Hartman in Blind Date?
You know, I don't
he was.
remember. I'm not even sure.
And he was in an underrated movie we talked about before with James Garner it was about Tom Mix. And it was called Sunset.
Oh, I never saw it, but I knew.
Little movie.
Yeah. In fact, Bruce Willis, I just watched last night. He was in his version of
Die Hard.
Die
Now.
No, of the
Breaking
Charles Bronson movie of Get Them Attack.
Dr. Death.
No, come on, the one we just talked about last week. Oh crap.
Death Row.
Death Wish.
Death Wish.
I
knew we'd get
it. Was, and I taped it again like I always do because he has great scene. His scene, the Bronson thing was horrible movie, just horrible.
It wasn't in the 70s.
Oh God! And the Bruce Willis movie was very well done, and I liked it. And oh, by the way, I remember one time at a gas station, a Shell station on Peachtree Road going north. I was pulling to get my gas. And a guy pulled up next to me, and he kind of recognized me somehow, and he came over to introduce himself. It was Kim Basinger's brother.
Oh, yeah.
And he looked just like her.
Wow.
He was a beautiful blonde man. I mean,
did you ask him out?
He was beautiful. I'm embarrassed to say he looked like a model. I mean, he was a very handsome guy. And I thought, well, I can see that. And Kim Basinger was a oh man, she was
not my type, but she's a beautiful woman.
Wow.
9.5 weeks with Mickey Rourke.
Oh, stop! I can't take that kind of pressure. Let's see other things in history on
Strawberries.
This date, 1980. Yeah, you dribble that on me, are you? Mount St. Helens in Washington erupts a cloud of ash that means bad news because 2 months later it was a catastrophe. Yeah. Dozens killed when the volcano actually blew its top. Airliners had to detour routes. Ash was everywhere. I mean, it covered half the country and went over into Europe, as I remember correctly. The Mount St. Helens
Imagine
ashes.
if Yellowstone goes.
Oh,
it'll be the end of a lot of things.
I wonder if it's. I guess it's possible.
It's
the core of the Earth is
called
down there, and it's not going anywhere. So
they say all of Yellowstone's a volcano, ready to go.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine? Oh, jeez. 1998, the FDA approves Viagra, a drug from Pfizer. For Mr. Bongo Bingo. You ever taken Viagra or what's the other one?
I plead the fifth. Cialis, I think.
Cialis.
Plead the fifth.
1977, the Canary Islands a KLM Jumbo 747 attempting to take off. It collided with another jumbo jet, a Pan Am 747, on the runway. 582 passengers and crew died in the explosion. 1977.
By the way, you cannot keep a secret on Canary Island.
Well, because they
somebody's going to sing.
Going to sing. We used to have singing canaries growing up. My mother used to
love. No
one
does anymore.
Canary. In fact, we didn't get parakeets because parakeets don't sing. They're prettier because they have lots of colors. Yeah. But the singing canaries, I think, are only females are the singers, and they would sing all day. Oh my God, never stopped.
The Norwegian blues are really good, unless they just lay there.
Yeah, that's when they're.
But they're stunned.
Yeah, when they're stunned. 2013, singer Dionne Warwick entered the Willie Nelson wing of the music industry. Seems Miss Warwick knew the way to San Jose, but not to the tax man. Dionne Warwick filed for bankruptcy on this day in 2013 with debts of $10 million in taxes that she hadn't paid. 1794, congratulations, y'all sailors, you swabbies. Congress authorizes the creation of the official U.S. Navy in 1794, well, after the Marine Corps was established in 1775 in a bar.
We should say a little prayer for Dionne about her taxes.
For Dionne, her taxes? Say a little prayer. Oh, sorry. For me? Oh, no, for her. Sorry. Say a little. Oh, sorry. 1866. Andrew Rankin got his patent for the urinal. By the way, think about John Crapper. Thomas Crapper, who invented the toilet system.
That's why we call it Crapper, the Crapper.
But think of what an amazing invention is the toilet and the system that allows the toilet to be connected to I mean, it's unbelievable that someone said, oh, yeah, we can do with just, and by the way, why does water flow from down low up high in apartment complexes to the 50th floor? I know, but who figured all this out? Just coming up with all that stuff. It's just unbelievable.
My mother said when they were kids, they had an outhouse.
We did. We had a chemical toilet.
Well, that's
1949 or something. We had a chemical toilet in one of the sheds out in the back.
There is an old outhouse on the property I live on now.
I believe it. Yeah. They were using outhouses in Paris Island in the 40s.
Well, I told you about coming back. Me and my friend came back in '95 from New Orleans from Fat Tuesday, hungover. We're driving back, and we stopped at this little gas station, convenience store there on a swamp somewhere in Louisiana, east of Pontchartrain. And I go, you got a bathroom? He goes, yeah, okay, somewhere back there. So I found it. And literally, I opened the door, and it was an outhouse overlooking the swamp.
Oh, my God.
And so everything just went right in the swamp.
The swamp, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
Gators down there.
Yeah, I had when I was a teenager, we had a friend who was a skier, a friend prep school, but he went to prep school with me, and he invited me for a ski weekend one weekend up in mountains of Vermont.
Macon.
And I went, and they had a cottage, but they had an outhouse. They did not have a bathroom in the cottage.
Damn.
This is 1962, maybe. And they had an outhouse, and it had two holes, and you could pick either hole, and go out. And he said, the key is to go right after somebody else did, so it's still warm. I said, no. But again, it was a freaking outhouse out there in the cold in a shed. You close the door to this square shed, and you're sitting in a hole.
That wasn't what they worried about, though.
Well, they worried about snakes. Snakes coming up to enjoy the scenery. Yaka.
Bite you on.
1860, a wine lover named M.L. Byrne invented the corkscrew. 1884, the first long-distance telephone call from Boston to New York. And in 1899, I'll bet you know this, the first international radio transmission between England and France. 1899, first international radio transmission done by anyone? Bueller? Anybody? Marconi. The curve is known as Bueller. G. Marconi. There you are. Marconi, famous radio inventor. Anyway, there you are, sir.
How about a blonde joke?
Blondes. I like blondes. I know I don't anymore. I used to. I don't anymore. No more. In fact, I had the girl who painted my Harley take away the blonde. I made it a redhead and a brunette. No more blondes.
Good for you. No bitterness there.
I had to sell that, and now I have a chopper that doesn't work.
A blonde gets a job as a physical education teacher of 16-year-olds.
Oh, boy.
Notices a boy at the end of the field standing all alone. How sad.
Yeah.
All the other kids are running around having fun, kicking the ball, but not this little kid.
Boy in a field all by himself.
Takes pity on him.
Yeah.
Goes over, speaks to him, and says, "You okay?" "Yes," he says. "You can go and play with the other kids, you know." "It's best I stay here," he says. "Why's that, sweetie?" said the blonde. The boy looked at her and said, "Because I'm the goalie."
The blind, see. You can go play with those. No.
It's best I stand here.
Don't quite get it, man.
That's
hard. That's cold.
Okay, Flounder, it's about time we can finally get to the part of the show that everybody looks forward to.
No. See.
By the way, Sophia, as always, the voice of wit and wisdom.
Here, what now, Sophia?
Pointed out that Romans had water systems thousands of years before the British
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. All right.
They had heated floors.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've been to Bath, England, where they still have the bath place. That thing's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. All right. We ready? All right. We got a...
Dolphins.
Oh, yeah. I forgot the dolphin one. Should I do my dolphin voice?
Well, I'll let you be... Don't ever do that again. Ever.
No, it was like
Your
the
cat
end of Lone
just played
Ranger.
in the other room.
Hi-ho, Silver, away. Don't ever do that again.
Maybe if I saw that movie version again with
It's
Johnny
funny.
Depp, but it was such a
When they're
freak.
buried up to our heads, the ants
Yeah.
and the honey, come on, it's fun. And the
trying
whole
to blow
trigger comes up and only saves one of them. It's funnier than hell.
Yeah,
the horse was funny.
I should try to watch it again.
All right. Anyway.
All right, so
okay, there's a dolphin baby, a dolphin dad, and a dolphin. So
I'll be the baby and the mom,
okay,
and you be the dad.
I'll be the dad.
All right, so dolphin baby starts it off. How did you and mom meet?
We met at school,
Don't.
and we just clicked.
Clicked.
We just-
The dolphins click.
I used to be able to do dolphin.
They would have to know the dolphin clicking.
Dolphin baby. How did you and mom meet? We met in school. Yeah, I used to be.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It is hard to keep up.
I used to be able to do Donald Duck, but it hurts.
The older you get, the
You
less
can't do it
control
now.
you have.
Yeah, I can't. Can't do it.
I can't even do it anymore.
Sound like you stinker the older you get.
You try it.
I can.
Yeah, it's very hard to.
That's sad.
I don't think I can whistle anymore.
I can never win.
Oh my God, I can't whistle. I used to be able to whistle like this. Oh my God, I can't whistle.
I can't do this or any of that stuff. Can you do that?
Holy shit! My mother used to call us in for dinner all over the
you
neighborhood
do
with
that?
that whistle that she had,
That
and
whistle?
I used to be able to do the. I can't whistle.
I can never do that.
Is that's lip muscle? You no
Probably.
longer there?
It's probably you just lose tension.
Oh my God!
In your face, yeah.
I can't. I'm. Oh my God!
Too bad.
I can't whistle.
Dolphin boy.
Oh well, probably good for everybody.
Probably best all the way around.
What a shame you can't. I used to love to win. You just whatever.
Just sit around and talk.
Anyway,
like that. All right,
boys, final thoughts.
Well, we're off next week.
We're off next week.
Everybody remember
so
that.
We'll be here Thursday. And, well, God bless America. Hang loose.
There's got to be something else we just haven't covered.
We all.
No?
Well, I have a feeling we forgot something.
You've given me all your tax stuff, right? Everything you need, personal and job?
Well,
Oh, you're not doing personal.
No, I do my own
The
personal.
other guy does it. Okay.
But I gave you all our info on expenses and salaries and stuff.
By the way,
Salaries.
Those photographs I was supposed to bring in today,
Yeah.
I forgot them.
You forgot them again. All right. Well,
You know why I forgot them? Because I put them by the door.
The door. Put
So
them in the car.
You know what? I'm going to have to put them
Put
in
'em
the car.
on the
Well,
front
you know what
seat.
I did? I took them and put them in our, well, you know that notebook I have.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I put them in notebooks on the couch.
Well, there you are. In the car, sir.
I don't get it. It's the one thing.
Or one of your trunks.
I
Man, there's two
literally-
trunks to choose from.
I literally put a bookcase by the door
Yeah.
that I have to walk past
Yeah.
on the way out, so I would not forget
So you
things.
wouldn't forget it,
and
yeah.
everything I put on that bookcase, I forget.
But, rubber band, a little rubber band on your wrist, or the string finger or something that they used to use.
I think I'm Jewish.
Put a
if I
rubber
put
band on your
my wrist.
It's what? I'm sorry.
You know that red band that all the
Yeah.
Hollywood stars used to have?
Yeah.
It was some what do they call it? Not the Zodiac.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a way. It's a.
Yeah.
God, what was it? It's not a cult.
No.
It's a version of Judaism where it's
masala or something. Wasn't that? Was that?
Anybody know out there?
Oh God, we'll figure. They'll tell us next time.
Oh, you forgot?
Wasn't that Madonna's thing?
Yeah, it's Madonna, but I forget what they.
It's masala or something like that.
Her movie?
No. It's a religious. It starts with a Z, doesn't it?
I don't. It's like Zanala or Zanahala or something like that.
Yeah, look up Madonna's Jewish
Madonna religion.
wristband or something.
But oh God, I'm the last person to come up with a name. I've got the whole no name anymore out of your mouth thing.
What is the Jewish significance?
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Let's see here.
It'll probably say something.
There it is.
Yeah, red string bracelet.
The red string bracelet.
It's
Ayin Hara.
Ayin Hara.
No.
What
the hell's the name? It's got to be.
Let me look it up.
It's God, I can't believe
Red
it.
string Kabbalah?
Kabbalah. Yeah,
Kabbalah.
That was it.
Masala, yeah, Kabbalah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have.
Wow, that was worth hanging around.
Good place to end. All right, my friends. God bless America. Hoorah, Semper Fi. I got to go. You're killing me.